YouTube, it is your favorite gamer here, Above Average Cody, coming at you with a Halo Infinite patch notes video. That's right, the behind-the-scenes stuff, the stuff that is not front-page news, that has in fact changed in the game. And we're going to be focusing mainly on the weapons, the equipment, the resolved issues, all the fun stuff that greatly affects the way the game plays, that kind of changed behind the scenes that a lot of regular players actually don't even know about. I mean, most of you might know about the simple stuff like the Mangler and stuff, but a lot of this, like, directly, like, what changed to how much with numbers and things like that, it's very much hidden behind the scenes in the patch notes. So we're going to go through this stuff. And the reason I didn't do this on release, guys, is because I want to take enough time to play the game so I can tell you how these changes positively or negatively affected really how you're going to experience the gameplay here on Halo Infinite, be it either just regular multiplayer or ranked. So we're going to dive right on in here, guys, with the absolute page turner of patch notes. Some of you may have seen things like this before on past games. Some of you may have not. So this is what the patch notes looks like. It basically just has main points and shows you each and everything that changed. We're going to dive right into the melee changes. You may have noticed melee feels very different, and I'll read through what changed, and I'll give you guys my opinion on what I think it did to the game. Now, melee damage has been reduced by 10% in both multiplayer and campaign. So what you were doing for melee damage before is now minus 10%. In multiplayer, this change to melee damage makes the Mangler a 2-shot beatdown rather than a 1-shot beatdown. The notorious Mangler, we all know about it. It's overpowered because you could pop them once and then melee them, they're dead. Bang. It's super easy. Anybody can do it. Now, instead of just adjusting the Mangler, they opted to adjust every single weapon in the game by reducing the melee damage. So this not only covers the Mangler, but it covers everything except in ranked. In ranked, the battle rifle has the same melee damage as before, but only in ranked. Only in ranked. This is so that you can do the 2-burst melee kill that is such a big deal in ranked. At some points, it still feels like it's not a 2-burst beatdown, but maybe it has to do with hit registration and things like that. So we'll trust them here that they didn't break anything. So only the battle rifle has the same melee damage in ranked. Not in regular multiplayer, so not in quick play, not in big team battle. You'll have to do more than the 2 bursts to get the melee kill. Now, other changes to melee will also result in the following improvements. Traded melee kills will occur more often, which means it is harder to get that melee kill, because if they started the melee even a little bit, you may die after. Now, again, this is the reason I like to play the game first before I do these patch notes videos, guys. I've noticed that I clearly hit the melee kill first, and then it'll take a little bit for it to happen, but then it'll get traded out by their melee. So even if they just started the hit, it makes it so that it's more fair, I guess, in those 50-50 melee battles. Improves snapping to enemies during melee lunges. I feel like this got significantly worse. So this refers to, say somebody is moving off of your screen and you start the melee will snap down to them so that it still hits. I feel like that didn't actually happen. I feel like that got significantly worse. And this one, improved enemy collision immediately after melee. I disagree. It feels like I missed significantly more melees. I'm glad they're trying to adjust it, guys, but I don't know about you, and please let me know down in the comments. It feels worse. It feels worse. I'm missing a ton of melees. I don't know if I just adjusted to how broken it was before and just kind of made it work, but now I avoid melees more than ever. I don't know if it's actually broken, or I don't know if this is how it is supposed to feel. I really haven't seen any updates on it. There could be some. I'd have to browse Twitter, but just know that the melee feels very weird to me. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Now, the developer notes, guys, I'm not going to read these, but it's very in-depth on exactly what the developer did, and it's a lot of words that us normal gamers don't really understand too well, so we're not even going to get into the developer notes. If you guys want to find this, go to news on Halo Waypoint, go to the Season 2 release article, and then it'll have a link to the patch notes. That's how you get to this. Now, the Mangler. In addition to the melee damage change noted above, the following changes were also made. Reduced starting reserve ammo and reduced max ammo. This means you don't start with as much ammo, and no matter how many Manglers you pick up, you can't have a ton of ammo. The reason they mainly did this is because of the spawn rate of the Mangler. Not only was the damage too high, guys, but it spawned way too often. You could be going up against a 4 team of Manglers. This reduced ammo basically makes it so that even if everybody wants to pick up a Mangler, there's not going to be enough ammo to support you just Mangler spamming across the map. Which, honestly, this is actually a pretty good move, I think, because it doesn't necessarily nerf the damage on the weapon, but it makes it so that if somebody is mangler spamming, they're going to run out of ammo. I think that's fantastic because it just makes for less mangling, if you will. Now the Ravager's base shot is now stronger than before and is therefore capable of a 2-burst kill. Now the Ravagers, this gun right here, actually, they put a little picture. A Spartan vents an overheated Ravager on Behemoth. I like how it's like a newspaper article of what the picture is. But basically, they just buffed it. So increased core splash damage from 10 to 25. Which is good. The Ravager was so weak in Quick Play and Fiesta. The moment I saw it, I just got rid of it. All right, the drop ball. The drop ball is now stronger and deploys faster once it hits the ground. So when you drop it, you're not waiting as long for it to come up and actually protect you. And then it has more health. If you want to see the exact notes here, there you go, 0.125 to 0.05. Duration from 9 to 12. Shield durability versus explosions increased by 40%, which means it's better against anything explosive, grenades, spanker shots, things like that. Overshield now grants an additional half bar of shielding. Overshield increased from 3 times to 3.5 times shield amount. DK time unchanged. So you have it for the same duration, but it is a lot stronger, guys. And let me tell you, I feel confident rushing fights now with the overshield. That was a change that had to happen because now it feels like your team should be prioritizing grabbing that overshield. Because honestly, I passed on it before with a team. It's like it wasn't that good. You could burn it so quickly. Now, let me tell you, it's a force to be reckoned with. All right, there were a couple changes to vehicles, which I'm not too into because I don't play a lot of quick play, but I know a lot of you guys do. So Warthog's tire positions and suspension have been adjusted to better improve its handling on uneven terrain. The vehicles flip so bad in this game. I noticed it when I was playing campaign, so now they'll flip less because of how it handles on the rocky roads, if you will. The chopper, wind boosting the chopper will now one-hit all vehicles except the Scorpion and the Wraith. How I feel it should be, dude. Look at how angry this vehicle is. That thing will definitely chop up some other vehicles. The Banshee's mobility and weapons have received multiple buffs. The Banshee can now move slower and faster than before, including when turning. Weapons cool down faster and deal more damage. All-around Banshee buff. Hashtag Banshee buff. That's all we got. Now, guys, the slide, a very hot topic because I do not completely understand why they changed this, and their reasons for changing this, I feel, are not great ones. Velocity gained from landing into a slide on a ramp has proportional reduction based on fall height. What does that even mean? I'm going to tell you. So, before you could jump into a downward stair set, and hit slide, and you would get a massive speed gain. And if you jump from a ledge down onto the stairs, even faster. They basically nerfed that. They did not touch sliding off boxes and stuff like that, or the long slide, if you will. If you want to know how to long slide, go check the video down the Halo Infinite playlist. Basically, they want the only skilled players to be doing the super long slides off the box and such, because this was basically the poor man's power slide, was sliding down the stairs and stuff. Why'd they even touch it, honestly? Their reasoning was, I don't know if it's listed here, but their reasoning was that it creates uneven rotations on the maps, and maps like Recharge, you could slide down the stairs to get to active camo faster. I feel like that's not a good reason. That was one of the most fun things in the game, and it allowed players that aren't really good at the skill slides off boxes to be doing it downstairs and stuff. So, I mean, I get it. It makes it more balanced. It makes it so you have to learn the more skilled movements in the game. But it's fun sliding downstairs. That's really what I'm going to leave it at. Now, the jumps, multiple collision fixes, smoothing out traversal on the ground, fixing players standing on out-of-bounds rock ledges, removing or adjusting collision on small props and thin ledges. This mainly addresses, well, obviously fixing on out-of-bounds rocks. That's just BS. That's fine to fix that. But removing and adjusting collision. This is when you jump up to a ledge and you accidentally clip it weird and you, like, bounce backwards. So you have to reset and then climb back onto the ledge. They fixed that so that hopefully the tiny little ledges don't clip you on the way up, so they're easier to jump onto. And then basically they talk about how they fixed all the tickets and just keep submitting issues if you find something broken. They changed a ton of simple stuff in the sandbox, guys. I'm just going to briefly breeze through these. Grabbing a fusion coil through the drop wall will no longer drag the drop wall. I didn't even know that was a thing. They fixed bullet decals. Turrets fit on the Razorback. Storage better. Debris from that is knocked down around the map will not refix its damage. Once you break it, it's broken. power weapons like the skewer or rocket launcher will no longer deal extra damage when fired at a vehicle's windshield. I had no idea that was a thing. Melee an enemy, then using a repulsor will not result in a shorter knockback. Boarding a Wraith or Scorpion playing a grenade will now kill the driver because it didn't before. Man cannons will now alter the trajectory of rockets from a Rocket Hog's turret. The Spanker's ready to fire faster. This is actually a pretty big one because I can't tell you how many times I've been killed by a Spanker that wasn't ready to fire when I pick it up. So it gets ready to fire faster, and swapping and zooming in will also result in a slightly faster fire time. Dynamo's ticking will no longer play continuously if it's dealing damage to enemies. It just ticks once, and then you know it's dealing damage. The Grapple Shot's cable consistently appears. Grapple Shot will attach to equipment and grenades better. If you've accidentally grappled the ground trying to grab active camo, you know what they're trying to fix here. Firing a weapon immediately after swapping between equipped weapons will now feel more responsive. It did feel very clunky in the past. Heads-up display element for hold actions has been improved. Improved the transition between third-person animations for clambering and sprinting. Now, all this stuff, guys, is basically stuff they fixed that was kind of broken. I haven't noticed any issues with this. The more hotter topics was the stuff above that I already went over. Improved PC stability. They changed a couple settings. The FOV, when you selected one, it would come like one tick down. So I know for me, I would select 110 FOV, and it would go down to 109 or 108. Super weird. Don't even know why it happened, but they finally fixed it. They adjusted the frame rate so you can better select custom values. And then obviously we all know about the trigger dead zones. I did a whole video on that if you guys are curious. Narrative sequences will now pause when the Halo Infinite is suspended on the Xbox or the Xbox guide is open. And then a bunch of other stuff. Active camo will not make sounds anymore if you're crouching or clambering, which is great because active camo is kind of easy to see already. So if I can hear the player clambering, that's even more silly. Third-person shield recharge sound is now quieter, so you can't hear somebody recharge you across the map. Weapon racks are more symmetrical on BTBs. If you spot asymmetrical weapons, submit a ticket. Why? You guys didn't already assess all the maps. Enemies will not be able to see joining in progress match before loading player gains. Marking the defend flag now plays the correct sound effect. And the rest is basically just simple things that they fixed, guys. It's no big game changes. I covered most of that already. But guys, hopefully this video helped you out. Please leave a like on the video for the algorithm since I went through the painstaking thing of reading through all of these patch notes just so I knew what to put in a video for you guys. But hopefully this video helped you out, guys. If you have any questions about any changes that I might have missed, or maybe you want something explained more in depth, just leave a comment. Please subscribe to the channel, guys. Tons of Halo content, especially now that Season 2 is here. We're live streaming it like crazy, at least while it's still exciting. And yeah, that's it, guys. And then feel free to join the channel membership if you'd like to support monetarily. That's all there is to it. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Let me know how your Halo journey is going. Let me know if you like these updates. Let me know if you notice anything else that's broken. And that does it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next video.